Hi guys, Gary Spike O'Sullivan here. I recommend you subscribe to Sport and Icons for all your latest boxing news. Good luck.
Alright, so post-fight reaction to JONO Carroll versus GUILLAUME Frenois. Now this was the final eliminator for Tevin Farmer's IBF world title. I believe Tevin Farmer has another fight coming up next anyway. I think that's soon. And then the winner of this fight would then end up taking on Tevin Farmer. Now, going into this one, just based on the record, you could see that Frenois was going to be tough, but I felt that JONO Carroll was going to win this one, and I felt that he would win it quite comfortably, to be fair. But a lot of things surprised me in this fight. First of all, how good Frenois actually was, how quite durable he was, and how he picked his shots. With JONO Carroll, listen man, he's got the look, he's got the engine, he's got the aggression, he's got the speed. The only thing he doesn't have is power. Now, out of his 16 wins, previously, like I come into this, he was 16-0. He only stopped 3 of his opponents. So that kind of goes to show you that there's not much power behind there. And I think at this kind of level, you need a bit of power to keep your opponent off. Not that Frenois was on him, not at all, but he was picking his shots. And listen, I think JONO Carroll has very, very good chin. Very good chin. But was showing that a bit too much in this fight. And he came to fight rather than box his way to a victory. Listen, it was a very, very close fight. The fight ended in a draw. And probably rightfully so in some ways. But now, I know that Eddie Hearn, he had Frenois winning this by maybe a round or so. For me, I had this JONO Carroll winning this one by maybe a round or 2. But ultimately, it's difficult to say because with JONO Carroll, he would just swing. And it's difficult to know exactly what's landing and what isn't. But the problem is that the more meaningful telling shots were coming back from Frenois. And his counter-punching was accurate. JONO Carroll, he did get cut under the left eye. Was it round 3 or round 4, I think it was. So maybe that kind of hindered a lot of it, I don't know. But at the same time, I did feel that JONO Carroll he got Frenois in some serious trouble in round number 2 or round number 3. And I felt, though, that he's lacking killer instinct. It's like he doesn't recognise when his opponent's hurt. You could see that Frenois was wobbling. And rather than go for the knockout, he was tip-tapping away at his body. Now, if you plan on going 12 rounds, that's all well and good, and maybe take him out later on, because then you're tiring him down, but he's tip-tapping. When you're tip-tapping, you're not doing any kind of great damage, and Frenois was still pretty fresh going into the later rounds. JONO Carroll was fresh too. He's got a very good engine, very, very good punch output, and I'm pretty sure if we was to look at the CompuBox at some point, JONO Carroll threw a hell of a lot more punches. But how much of those were landing shots is very difficult to tell, really is. And JONO Carroll was playing a bit dirty, most notably at the end of round number 10, he had a free punch. When the bell went, the referee stepped in and he punched him clean on the jaw straight after, which he could have got a point deducted or potentially disqualified in round number 10. And he did this, I'll probably say 2 more rounds as well up to that point, where he would hit him after the bell, which is not a good thing to do. It really isn't. For me, as much as I like JONO Carroll and I rate him very highly, I think that he needs to pack that in because he's going to get penalised for it. Ultimately, this fight is a draw. I can't argue too much. Again, it's like the commentators saying, you know, there was a draw last weekend and there's a draw this weekend. Listen, last weekend it was officially a draw, but we all know Tyson Fury beat that bum well up. We all know that Tyson Fury should be the WBC heavyweight champion. This one was a hell of a lot closer. You could see it was a hell of a lot closer. But I do feel, though, that JONO Carroll edged it. Now, what happens with the mandatory situation now? It's up in the air. I mean, Eddie Hearn did say that potentially a rematch could happen, or maybe JONO Carroll fights Tevin Farmer next, and then Frenois will then fight the winner of that fight, or vice versa, and whatever else. So at the minute, it's all up in the air. But I do feel, based on this performance, I think that as much as I want JONO Carroll to go in there and beat the stuffing out of Tevin Farmer, I think JONO Carroll may struggle against Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer is a lot faster than Frenois and a hell of a lot more accurate and a bit more powerful as well as. Because Frenois, he did come into this fight with 46 wins with only 1 defeat, and that 1 defeat was a decision loss way back in 2013. So you could, you could see he was good, but he hadn't really fought anybody of any kind of note. But JONO Carroll, he's got literally everything. He's just lacking that killer instinct and the power. Hopefully that will come, hopefully, because if not, I can see him getting done at some point, and I really don't want to see that. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. This is officially a draw, and I can't argue with it too much, but it is what it is. So you all drop your thoughts about it. Who do you think won? How do you think that either one of these guys will get on against the likes of Tevin Farmer or Gervonta Tank Davis? Drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.